Umbra and Luna. I'm sure most of you have forgotten about the Death Beast Mass Gradius. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. So I actually wanted to talk about the future of Umbra and Luna support out here and the possibility of getting more masked support. We talked about Gate Guardian a long time ago. We willed that into existence, by the way. I'm still shocked that we had the chance to actually see Gate Guardian stuff come to fruition. I still think that is one of the craziest things that I've had the chance to see in this game's history. But from right now, kind of sitting here, I was like, with the way Mass Beast Disc Radius has kind of shaped up, card's absolutely worthless. I think Mask of Restrict is the best mask card to exist. That would be really cool if we actually had a mask card that did more things. The possibility of, imagine a floodgate where, your opponent can't actually summon as long as the mask is on the field. The mask destroys itself after a turn or so. That's the kind of level of design and power creep I do fully expect Yu-Gi-Oh! To actually try to explore and examine with this. Now, there's not to say, we couldn't just pump out some new mask support, because honestly, we're in that era of cards that we've been exploring from this era. So the Battle City stuff actually hitting this, maybe some more of Arcana Force stuff as well would be kind of cool, since we had the Red Dark Mission, but that's a story for another day. In terms of design, though, I think there's a lot of space that we could actually, be able to use and create with the mask stuff. And especially, we've created some pretty stupid floodgates through the already existing mask. So, they could do some very, very stupid anti-meta stuff. But I think that this is on the list of things for the future of support. Now, I want to talk about Red Eyes over here. So, Yugi got an entire new deck, the Shining Sarcophagus. Blue Eyes gets handed a structure deck over here. We did have, Robbie, Joey Wheeler did get some cards. We did get some Flame Swordsman power-ups on the TCG side of things, but, when you're kind of looking at how everything is going here, Red Eyes hasn't had anything yet. And I think that this is actually a pretty good tall tale sign that we will get Red Eyes support at the, the later half of what's to come with this. Because looking at how Konami's been doing this, we finally hit the boss monsters. There's no way that we can really leave Joey Wheeler behind. Now, the question that I have to ask, though, is what will Red Eyes receive in terms of support? Honestly, I'm not going to lie, Red Eyes Black Metal Dragon, some of the other cool stuff from the original arc, we didn't really do much with Metal Morph. Honestly, just kind of all one and done. I think that'd be a really cool revisit to see something like that. It'd also be really cool to see, an offbeat chance that, maybe we get a new Red Eyes. Granted, we've had, retrains of this stuff, and I know a lot of people are this isn't the greatest thing in the world to be considering out here, but I do think that Red Eyes is up as a candidate for the support. Honestly, designing whatever support they choose to give for this, I think it'll be decent. It's also just a matter of time until we do see Red Eyes. But I would expect by the end of the 25th anniversary that they push for Red Eyes support. Let's be honest, it's pretty interesting. Now, I do want to talk about a card called High Speed Aria. This would be something that would be showing up in an Animation Chronicle style set. So you send a normal spell card from your hand to the graveyard. This card's effect becomes that normal spell's effect when that card is activated. And you cannot activate spell cards during your next turn. So you're sitting here like, wait, Robbie, so you're telling me that this is just a trap card that allows you to activate any normal spell from your hand basically during your opponent's turn. Or, it says during your next turn. So basically, in order to create this actually pretty interesting effect, you're going to have to sacrifice an entire turn of spells. Now, the reason why I bring this up is there are a lot of very interesting interactions that a card like this could create. One, you would get some very cool draw power, which would be awesome. The way that this card is worded, it is not held back behind a once per turn, which, I mean, that's kind of interesting. Also, this would mean that I could Raigeki / Dark Hole my opponent during their turn, which would kind of maybe breathe a little bit more life into those defensive options, as a little bit of a chance to kind of see what they could do. And I just like the ruling interactions that I feel like this card tries to create out here. So I just wanted to put this on the table and go, since we're looking at things that could quite possibly hit us out here, having a trap card that simply just converts its trap effect to whichever normal spell you discard is not out of the range of future cards. Actually, I quite think the opposite here. I think that this is 100% a viable idea. And if, something like this attempts to, come to the game, I welcome it. I think that's very interesting. Now, back on the topic of, well, since we talked about Red Eyes and Metal Morph, I do want to talk about Bandit Keith out here as a possible turnaround, because Zoa and friends, I mean, the last time that Bandit Keith got support was, the slot machine, the launcher spider, and some of those really weird Duelist Pack power-ups that they tried to throw at us and go, hey, you guys really want to, come on now, come. You guys really want to try this, right? And of course, it didn't go over the way that we initially thought it would. I would like to see something more iconic for Bandit Keith. I guess Launcher Spider and Friends are kind of it, but it would be really cool. Maybe see Bandit Keith get paid a homage to in a card. Like, maybe just the unlucky duelist or something like that. I think that would be really cool, but looking at, the kind of scumbag the Bandit Keith's character was in the anime, I think it would just be really cool just to see another round of support. Since, we're back in the old Duel Monsters era. We're looking at, we've already got the Dark Magician and all of this stuff receiving these retrains. I still am not surprised to see that Bandit Keith has kind of been left behind, but we're also redoing these old boss monsters too, so I don't know who or what we would approach, but probably, Metal Zoa retrain would be sick, actually. Actually having any of the Metal Morph retrains and actually have them be, usable. Actually, to be fair, the Stardust Assault mode stuff could also use a very nice retrain, but that's a story for another day out here. So yes, Bandit Keith, let's will it into existence. And then Zork. So I'm still out here on my Zork crusade. I feel like every one of these videos we make, you got me going, Zork, it's somewhere. Necro Shade is in the back. All right, the big, powerful card, the Titans with the Gods, it exists. I'm telling you, that's a crockpot conspiracy theory. We're on 25 years of the game. They might save Zork for the 30th if they choose to go that route, or maybe they'll save it for the 50th. It's highly possible that, something like this actually does exist somewhere out there in the design space for the course of the game. I don't know. I just kind of assume that, with the way that the card essentially tightened with the Gods and lore, that it technically has to exist, right? Like, that's how this works. And I would love to see something. I have a feeling Zork would be a pretty hard card to summon, and if its effect would not be the greatest like the Egyptian Gods, that's also something else I'm kind of afraid of. So I got some food for thought out here. Zork would be a really cool card to have in existence. I just don't know how you create it in a way to make it as strong as you would need it to be. You know what I'm trying to say here? So, overall, I think everything in this video, as of this point, seems like a likely candidate. My fingers are crossed for extra, Umbra and Luma support. I don't know where they would put it, but in the next 4 sets would be really cool. Or, we could actually just see it next year, but as a Maze of Millennia set. Oh, that'd be so cool. New mass support. I don't know if it would sell, though. But Gig Guardian did a good job. So what do you guys think? Please, if comment down below, tell me what you guys think. And I'll see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Peace out.
Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.